Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got a review of Allison by Jeff Strand. And I'm just going to start this video right now, this review, and I'm going to tell you I love this book. Alright? I mean, this book had everything in it that I enjoy in a horror novel, and you could kind of call this a revenge novel. You could also call this Hell Hath No Fury, like a woman scorned novel. It had all of that, and I absolutely loved it. Alright, so let's get on with what the book is about. Okay, so this is one of those kind of things where I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give too much away, but I don't want to say not enough because I still got to get the story across to you. But anyway, so we're going to start with the prologue. So the prologue, Allison is 10 years old. She is on vacation with her mom and dad, and they are in a cabin in the woods. And then it's late at night, and all of a sudden these two guys break in, expecting to get money and jewels and stuff from this vacationing family in the middle of nowhere. And to make a long story short, or to not give too much away, something very bad happens to these men, but this same thing happens to Allison's parents, alright? And I'm going to get into that in just a minute because a lot of what does happen has to do with Allison's abilities. So now we're going to cut to modern times, alright? So Allison is 45 years old. She lives by herself in a house that is, I believe, the way Jeff Strand describes it, it is the only house on the street that she lives on. It's the only house. So it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Alright? She has no boyfriend. She has a job that she works online at home. She doesn't really make a lot of contact with people, and the reason is because she has this ability to where she can move people with her mind, okay? The thing about that is that she doesn't really know how to control it. So if she gets scared or she gets panicked or any kind of high emotion, then her power goes nuts. So she might be aiming at somebody trying to just push them away with her powers, and she could end up killing them, and in pretty horrific ways, alright? Okay, so now let's talk about the bad guys, because we've talked about Allison. Let's talk about the bad guys. Alright, so first off, the bad guys are these mafia types. Well, they're not mafia types, you could say organized crime, okay? So you got Daxton and you got Sam. Now Sam and Daxton are on a hit. They're supposed to do a hit, which means they're supposed to whack a guy, kill a guy, whatever you want to say, alright? Sam gets killed, and Daxton has to go back to his boss, and his boss basically tells him if he screws up one more time, that's going to be it. And you can imagine what that's going to be it is all about. It means he is going to be dead, gone, kaput, all that jazz, okay? Alright, so Daxton. Now Daxton has a pregnant, I'm not sure if she's a girlfriend. I think she might be his wife, but I'm pretty sure she's just his girlfriend. She's pregnant. Alright, so one day Daxton or whatever, and his wife come down the stairs just as Allison is passing by. Maggie, the wife, she all of a sudden starts to fall, and Allison just instinctually goes to push her. And when she does, she doesn't touch her, but she pushes her back, and she's scared that she's done something to the baby because she used her powers inadvertently. She didn't mean to, but she used her powers. And Maggie's fine, but she's telling her, please, go get the baby checked out. Get the baby checked out, alright? Okay, so now, the thing about that is Daxton and Maggie go, and the baby is fine. Everything's fine. Well, Daxton gets this bright idea to exploit Allison for money. He decides he's going to go and he's going to say, he's going to look all disheveled and sad and everything and go, oh, we're sorry we lost the baby, because she's so distraught over it. He's thinking she's going to give him a bunch of money. Alright? Okay. So, now, you remember I told you about Daxton's boss. Now, Daxton tells his boss about Allison and what she can do. So, his boss decides, hey, let's bring her in. Let's make her work for us. Alright? Big mistake. Okay? Because these guys go after people that Allison cares about. Because she meets this guy named Cody. Because Cody saw what happened with the baby or the pregnant lady. And they become friends. And she kind of tells him what she can do. And he tells her that he's got problems of his own. He's got like night terrors and stuff. So these are two people that want to be together but don't know how to be together because they're afraid they're going to hurt each other. Allison's never had sex. She's afraid that if she, then she's going to lose control of her powers. Alright? So anyway, like I said, this guy, this crime boss or whatever, he tells his guys, go get this woman. And it doesn't matter how many people they send after Allison, it does not end well. And I'm not saying it doesn't end well for Allison, and I don't want to give too much away, but that's pretty much what the last half of the book is these guys trying their best to get Allison, to bring her into this guy, and she just absolutely destroys them. And I'm not just talking about, she pushes them away or she does something to make their brains, make them drop dead or anything like, oh no, she does some horrible stuff to them. I mean, like they said in Pulp Fiction, she gets medieval on their ass is what she does with her mind powers and stuff. So, it's pretty much, like I said, the last part of the book is just a showdown between her and these organized crime thugs and then this crime boss or whatever. And I'm not going to get into full ending of the book. Alright? So, like I said, I love this book. I love books like this where this kind of reminded me, just think if it was, I thought about this, I thought this is like the movie Carrie, but this is kind of a what if thing. What if Carrie, instead of dying at the end of Carrie, what if she had grown up to be a middle-aged 45-year-old woman? She's still got these powers. She's got to kind of keep off the grid, keep away from everybody, and then something happens. And that's kind of the premise you get for what Allison is all about, okay? Alright? So now you remember I told you about the prologue. Alright, so for every prologue there is an epilogue. Alright, so I was looking on somewhere, I can't remember where it was. I think it was, I want to say Twitter, I'm not sure. It might have been Instagram. But somebody said that this book had one of the best epilogues they have ever read. Alright, so I'm sitting there going, oh wow, I'm reading this book right now. Do I want to look? I don't want to look at the end. I want to find out. So I'm just waiting to be really surprised. And I'll tell you right now, this epilogue does not disappoint, because I'll tell you flat out, the bad guy gets his comeuppance very, very strongly, and Allison gets some satisfaction, and I'm going to kind of leave you to that, alright? Anyway, like I said, I love this book. I mean, 5 stars all across the board. Can't recommend it enough. If you like Jeff Strand and his brand of writing, that little bit of humor, that just enough humor that he throws into his horror, you're going to love this book. Alright? Now, originally, I haven't read a lot of Jeff Strand, but originally my favorite Jeff Strand book was Wolf Hunt, because it's a werewolf novel. I gotta say, that's been bumped. Allison is my favorite Jeff Strand novel at this particular point in time, okay? Alright, so yeah, that is my review for Allison. I hope you guys like this review. Thank you for watching, and take care and stay scared. Bye-bye.